morning. You know what? Right as we were playing the music, I got the notification that came up from YouTube, and it was so cool for me to see. It says, "Join Louisiana Delta Community College live now with the morning blend." I know that's the first time I've noticed that happen.
That is awesome. Look
Yes.
at us with a notification.
And yes, being notified.
Yes.
See, there you go. The hype train has already pulled into the station on Monday morning. ladies and gentlemen.
My liquid courage for today.
That is not an endorsement, people. I am not endorsing one product over another.
Unless they want to sponsor us.
Unless they want to sponsor us, then, yeah, that's a whole other story all day long.
Yes. Y'all, we are here with the charming, the cheerful Charles Stevenson.
All right. Yeah, that's right.
Hello, everybody.
Thank you so much for agreeing to come on this morning. It's going to be fantastic.
All right. All right.
Yeah, we can't. Well, I want to say in the hesitant Charles Stevenson. He's
Yeah.
sitting over there like, I am not sure what to expect. I don't know what I've
get
agreed to
myself
do.
into?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I'm looking at this picture on the email that you sent out, the email blast. You know, how are you finding all these wonderful images?
This is all. This is
Stevenson?
actually all on Charles because I did not have a headshot of him, and so I looked on his Facebook and I
my
stole it, and it was the most professional headshot I've ever seen. So it was like high res. I was like, "This is perfect. Thank you."
And that's how he rolls.
Yeah.
That's right. Always professional.
Professional.
That's how he rolls. All right, Cameron. Yes, Cameron is back. Y'all remember last
Oh,
week?
my
I'm so sorry.
Y'all remember last week what
I was
happened?
so sick, and y'all, I am getting married in less than 2 weeks, so I'm glad I got
Congratulations.
sick
Yeah.
then
Throw
and
that
not
in
in
there.
2 weeks. So
Yes, we are very glad that happened to you last week and not in the next 2 weeks.
Right.
Although that meant that you left me here with Ryan.
Oh, here we go.
no.
Here we go.
oh,
But I
man.
survived because I am in the seat today.
Yes,
So,
yep. You came back.
You-
you got to
held
work
on.
with what you got.
Yeah.
I mean,
Takes courage.
I am so
Yeah.
sorry. I am not Cameron, but yes, we made it. We made do with each other.
seriously though, Ryan pulled it off very well. We
Y'all
now
figured
she's
it
just
out.
trying to-
Right. Y'all figured it out.
we could just moving right along Monday morning.
moving right along.
So I do have a question of the day today that I don't think
Okay.
we've asked on this podcast before, and I was very curious.
Uh-oh.
Where does your name come from? Why were you named what you were named?
Let's start over here.
Okay. So
It's a whole story. I can see
It
it in her
is.
eyes.
it is a whole story, and if I were my grandmother, I would have been so ticked with my mom.
Oh no.
Okay, so I'm disclaim this. My mom was pregnant with me as a teenager, and and then she was ticked off because my dad was also a teenager, and and so when she tried to tell him that she was pregnant, he was like, "So what do you want me to break up with Julie?" And it's like, because my mom could remember the name of this girl all these many years later, I still feel like, there's a spot that needs to be healed in her life.
Bless.
So,
We're gonna keep her in our
he's
prayers.
like, what do you want me to do? Break up with Julie? So anyway, so my mom's ticked, she's pregnant. She's going to the doctor. My dad's mother is one of the nurses in the doctor's office.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So there was another nurse, and the doctor, my mom took their parts of their names and gave me my name. The nurse's name was Darian, and the doctor's name was David Demerit Chube, and she named me Damaris after Dr. Chube, because he really was cool. I mean, I knew him. He married into my dad's side of the family later in life.
Oh
but,
wow. So
yeah.
y'all were close.
Yeah,
kinda,
but
yeah.
but she named me after these people, and my grandmother worked right there in the doctor's office.
Oh,
And she kept
man.
asking my mom, "Is that my grandbaby? Is that my grand?" And my mom would never just be upfront and tell her yes, because she's pissed off at her son. And so that was a whole thing. And when she told me that story, I was like, that was just wrong.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's a
you
little dirty.
skipped all over blood and named me after these people who weren't even connected.
Normally, we have tea or coffee or something. That tea
That
has
was
spilled.
tea.
I'm telling
That
you.
was tea. I'm telling you. Yeah.
I cannot.
She's still recovering from all of that trauma. But,
Oh, my
yeah.
goodness.
But that is how I got my name, Darian Damaris.
I never knew your
Nurse
middle name.
and doctor.
Wow, I never knew your middle name.
Yeah, I told her she could have kept that middle name because she didn't do me. She didn't do me any favors giving me that one. But here's the interesting thing: Lawrence's middle name. Lawrence is my husband. Lawrence's middle name is Demetrius.
Wow. Wow.
So that was, I mean, that was really tripped out. So and now
Yeah.
all of our kids' middle names all begin with D because mine and Lawrence's. So anyway, that was a little lanyard.
I love it.
Yeah.
I told y'all it was a whole story.
It is a whole story.
I wouldn't put it past your mom though. I think that that is on brand for her.
You know, next time I talk to her, I need to I'm gonna ask her, how do you think Julie's doing?
Just dig it all back
that
up.
ought to be an interesting conversation.
I'm gonna ask over the phone.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Remember, this show is live. Okay, so just be
You
careful.
hear me say I'm gonna ask over the phone because she can't touch me over the phone.
Right.
I wouldn't ask her that in person.
You can always hang up.
Yeah.
Not nearly as colorful as yours. I actually don't know why my first name is Ryan, but I know what it means. And y'all are going to clown me about this because it means,
Oh Lord, ordered number.
no. It means little king.
Oh, that is the last thing we needed to hear.
If you've watched the show before, you know how Darian likes to clown me, and both of y'all actually, about different things. But yeah, it means little king. Okay, we're going to move on though,
That's
because
why he has to turn sideways coming into any doorway because his head is just too big to go in straight.
Yeah.
The red carpet's on its way.
Yeah.
But-
Did y'all know Ryan requested rose petals be put on the floor when he walks into the office?
this is not coming to America, ma'am.
This is what I'm saying.
But my middle name is Michael, and I was named after my godfather and another good friend of the family whose first name was Michael as well.
cool.
So,
Okay.
yeah. Notice
Ryan
how I tried to.
Michael.
I'm trying to sweep that other
Yeah, you're
business
trying to-
out the way.
Yeah,
45 seconds and we move on. So.
Little King.
Oh, well, I'll go next. My name, it's not as colorful as yours either. But so my mom wanted to, she said it was a popular name at the time, Cameron, and she liked that it was unisex. So she didn't have to change it just in case they did, you know, if I came out a boy or whatever. So she liked that aspect, but she wanted to spell it like a girl and put a Y in it. But y'all, let me tell you something a little about my brother. My brother was a preemie baby, and he was in the ICU the first month of his life. And they named him Keegan, which means little fiery one, because he survived and came out of it. It's very meaningful. Do y'all want to know what my name means?
Okay,
What does
we're listening.
Cameron
We
mean?
can't wait.
Crooked nose.
Oh, did
way
they
looking
know?
at no.
That's immediately what I did.
That's right. Okay, so
Everybody does. They
yeah.
start looking and they're like, maybe it is a little crooked. I don't know, y'all. I don't know if it's crooked or not. But that's the hand I was dealt. And then Keegan has this cool meaning, but it's fine. I got over it.
What's your middle name?
I don't know, Cameron. I don't know if you got over it or not.
My middle name is Gray, and it's spelled Grey, and it's because my dad had a dream, because my dad, we call him Trey, that's his nickname. He had a dream that that was my first name, and that it was kind of like after him, but a girl version, and they called me Gray. I don't want to be called Gray. I'm good with Cameron. But Mom was like, no, that could be the middle name. That's kind of cute, you know, little.
Cameron Gray.
Yes.
Oh,
Now, Mr. Charles,
Little Gray.
Tell us what your name means.
all right. Well, my name is not nearly as exciting as as you all's name, but I was actually hoping to go right after Darian because of her exciting story, and I didn't have a really exciting story.
You're like, hold on, this is a
yeah,
tough act
that's
to follow.
right. That's a tough act to follow. So my name is Charles Allen Stevenson Jr. And I received my name from my dad.
From your dad.
Yes, of course. My dad is Charles Allen Stevenson Sr. And so not very exciting, but it is, that's my name. That's where I got my name from. So I'm Charles. My dad was Charles Allen Stevenson Sr. I'm Charles Allen Stevenson Jr. And I named my son. I'll say this because when my wife loved the name Charles so much that all of our sons' names are Charles.
This is what's very unique about their family. That is,
Yeah.
Wow.
that
That's a good
is
family
interesting.
name.
Yeah, so my son is Charles Allen Stevenson III, and then my youngest son is Charles Hamilton Stevenson, and
I love that.
so now my wife. When she said this yesterday, she said, when I say Charles around the house, everybody comes
around.
running,
Three people say yes.
And then so now my youngest son, well, my middle son, he's or my older son, he's 8 now. And so he asked my wife, he said, Mom, you say Charles. She said, now he's kind of getting smart, to the point where if it's something that he really doesn't want to do, he puts it off on his younger brother when my wife calls Charles.
I thought you were calling him.
Hey, yeah,
Like,
that's
no, she
right.
means
Well,
you.
I thought you
No,
would
she's
call
talking
Or
about
dad. Or dad, she's calling you.
Yeah.
So she said she told him that you ought to know by the way that I call Charles who I'm talking about. And so she
That
said,
is interesting. But seriously, that is interesting because I would like to hear how see if I could hear the differentiation
Yeah.
between you being
Yeah.
Charles, the older Charles, and the younger Charles.
Yes. So every time she calls my name, of course, it's just all lovey dovey, and so it's just they absolutely know.
Yeah.
They absolutely know
Yeah,
that it
I'm gonna
is
have to
that.
double check
that
that.
must be dad.
I'm gonna have to.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to check this for truth or not.
Fact
See,
checker.
yeah, fact
Absolutely,
check.
absolutely. So
That is
yeah,
funny.
just give her a call. She'll
Yeah,
probably.
'cause now, hey, is
But
Charles
anyway,
lying about this?
So that's the way we differentiate who she's talking about, and usually, because of the unique names around our house, we usually call each other by the first and middle name. So it's Charles Allen, Charles Hamilton. Then we have 2 daughters, Camille Rose and Carmen Rose. So both of our daughters have their middle names
Are the
are
same.
Rose, and since the names Camille and Carmen are so close, they sound so much alike. Oh my goodness, it's
That gets
that
confusing.
kind of gets confusing. Now it's Carmen
See,
Rose
now
and
you
Camille
got you feeling
Rose.
like
yeah.
your great grandmother when she went through everybody's
that's
name
right,
to get to
that's
yours.
right.
Saying the
That's
dog's
right.
name before it
And by
gets
the way,
yours.
today is my baby daughter's birthday.
Oh,
Yeah.
happy birthday!
yeah.
Which
Happy
one is it,
birthday,
Camille or Carmen?
Carmen. Happy birthday,
Happy
Carmen.
birthday.
Yeah. She's 2 years old today.
Wow.
Let me tell you,
Yeah.
Charles and Natalie have like the most beautiful kids,
Aw.
and
Thank you. Yeah.
it was funny because we were at what's the name of that school?
I don't know.
The school that your kids go to. Your younger son. Not Clark.
Okay.
What is the name
J.S.
of it?
Clark.
Is it Clark?
Yeah.
J.S. Clark.
Yes.
So we were at J.S. Clark together.
Glad we got there.
Because my granddaughter
Lord.
and Charles's son attends J.S. Clark. And I'm telling you, that little kid is so cute. So Amara, I'm there, it was donuts.
And Amara's cute too now.
Yeah.
You'll get it twisted.
Donuts with grown-ups, And so I'm there, with Amara because it was the grandparents' day kind of. It was just the parents and grandparents. So I'm taking pictures of her and her friends, helping her to collect her little memories. And so she pointed Charles Hamilton out to me and said, that was her friend. He was in her class. And I was like, cool, you want to take a picture with him? So we went over there, and he was so unbelievably shy. I mean, it about killed him, and he was like,
I have a
no,
hard time believing that.
I mean,
man.
seriously. I mean, he was turning away, and he was like, no, he didn't ever say no, but,
Yeah.
all the body language was like, oh, I am
Heck no.
embarrassed to the hill. I don't want to do this.
Yes.
But when it was a group, when he saw a group of his classmates, taking a picture, then he came over and stood, and he wanted to be a part of the picture.
Let
And
Dad tell
so-
it, please. Let
well,
Dad tell it.
Look, and then when he and Amara took a picture together, just those two, it's funny because I went back and looked at the photos, and Amara was standing there, and she's all happy,
Smiling and
yeah,
posing.
and then Charles's son was like this and everything.
Unbelievably embarrassed.
He was,
I mean,
but to his defense though, his older brother was teasing him.
yeah.
Yeah, he was teasing him a
Yeah,
lot.
we don't see that side of him too often, and so it was a pleasure. It was it really was. I mean, we I said, son, we need to talk about this.
Which is gonna embarrass him even more.
Oh my gosh! And then Natalie, Charles's wife, was like, I don't believe he's acting like this. Now, they were playing basketball together and hanging out, before his dad came. Oh, it was you.
That's right.
It was
That's
you
right.
because
That's
I
right.
just remember she
That's
said
right.
that before
That's
his
right.
dad came in.
That's right. That's
So
right.
something when Charles came in triggered him on his daddy to see.
Yeah. Ooh.
That was
Yeah.
interesting.
That's
but
like
yeah,
an
they
instinctual thing.
Yeah.
yeah, but they do have adorable kids. Oh my gosh.
Thank you so
Wonderful
much.
family. Beautiful
Yeah,
family.
thank you.
Oh, well, y'all, that was amazing. I'm glad to know you all more deeper because those are some cool stories. Everybody had a really cool story.
Yep.
We love it.
King Ryan over here.
Yeah, King
King
Ryan.
Ryan.
Get him a crown,
Oh, please.
All right, we're going to move into our news and upcoming events and go through those.
All right.
All right, y'all. So first up, we have what I'm excited about this morning. The LCTCS conference is this week.
Yes.
Cameron is hyped. Let me just
She
tell
can't
y'all.
contain herself. Can
And
I
it
say
isn't
something?
even her first conference.
Right. But look, y'all, her bag is already packed. It's
It
here
is-
in the studio.
right there in
as
the
soon
chair.
as we finish, she's out the door, y'all.
Out
She cannot
the
wait.
door.
Y'all, my suitcase is top heavy too. It'll just fall right over because I stuffed that thing. I'm like, oh, this is bad. But I'm leaving out with Hannah and Patience today. And who else is going? Are you going this year?
Yes,
All
I'm going
right.
this year. I'll be there
I'll be
tomorrow.
there.
Okay,
I'll
and
be
Ryan will
And
be there because
Ryan,
he's presenting.
I was about to say,
so
Ryan is presenting. I know Cameron is
presenting,
I
presenting.
am
Are you at
presenting.
9 on
I'm on the
Wednesday?
2nd,
Tuesday?
October 2nd.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, and I think I'm around 9. I think it's at the same time as yours.
I know.
I was like, why did they do that?
Yeah, and I included in the week at a glance for this week, that there were some LDCC staff and faculty presenting.
There's
So,
a lot of us
good.
presenting.
try
isn't
to
it?
find y'all on the schedule and
Yeah.
sit in because it is
Yeah.
nice to be able to look up and see your own peeps
Right.
in the
Support
audience.
your peeps.
That's
Yeah.
right. That's right.
We love to see it. So yeah, we'll be in New Orleans this week. We're gonna learn. We're gonna go there to learn and grow, not have any fun at all.
Yeah,
right.
right. That's part of the
Cameron.
conference.
Right.
It's the fun part. Hey, you work hard during the day.
Yep, you're right. You're right. Well, work hard.
Work
and then at
hard
night-
and learn and grow during the day.
I'm gonna stay away from those hurricanes though, for sure.
Please.
All right.
More tea spilled on.
Little T, and now we have a little congratulations to
Yes.
our very own Kirsten Brantley.
Yes, that was
Kirsten
such
Brantley.
awesome news.
That's
Go,
right. That's
Kirsten.
right.
Y'all, it was crazy. She walked in the studio, and it was just me here at the time, and she was like, "Yeah, I was wondering, can you get a headshot for me?" And I was like, "Yeah, why?" She said, "I won this award," just so nonchalant about it. And I'm like, "Kirsten, tell me more about this. This is a big deal." So the Louisiana Association of College and University Student Personnel Administrators, Student of the Year. Oh, it's actually, I'll have the specific name in my notes over here. It's going to be the student leader of the year for a 2-year institution.
That's
So,
And this is in regards to her work on the pantry.
yes,
Dr. Thomas nominated her. So shout out and kudos to Dr. Thomas for taking the time. Yeah, I mean, because it does take time to do that. We see, these notices come across our email box, to nominate people for different things. But for those people who actually take the time to do that, to nominate a coworker or nominate someone else for something, I mean, kudos. And so Dr. Thomas did that for Kirsten.
Yes,
And
absolutely.
And look at how she felt about that. I mean, gosh,
She was very proud.
and yeah, to be recognized for all of those hours that she put into that whole food pantry.
Yes, and
project.
it was for the 23-24 school year when she was SGA secretary treasurer, and now she's the vice president.
Yes.
So
She's
just
moving on up. Call her
constantly
Weezy.
being a better leader, growing, and we just love to see it. I've seen her grow since I've been here, and I'm just so proud of her. We have a video about her on our social media. I encourage everybody to go watch it.
Yes.
It really shows her growth from when she first got here to now as a leader, as a student, and just coming out of her shell. So
Congratulations, Kirsten.
yes, congratulations.
So
and
proud.
Monday, October 7th at the UL Lafayette Student Union Ballroom, they're going to have an award ceremony from 12 to 1:30. I think it's a luncheon. I don't know. Are they going? Have you heard from Dr. Thomas?
I'm sure Kirsten is going
Yes.
because that's where she will,
Accept the
formally
award.
accept her award.
Yes.
And I don't know if Dr. Thomas is going. I would imagine she might. She probably will go, but yeah, Kirsten will definitely be there. So shout out to Kirsten and kudos to
Yes.
Dr. Thomas for recognizing the talent.
Yes,
Absolutely.
congratulations.
We also have some more gold. We have our white coat ceremony has been rescheduled, which I'm so excited because
Yeah,
it's one of my
can't wait
favorite
for it.
events. Tuesday, October 8th at 6 p.m. reception to follow, and they moved it to North Monroe Baptist Church, so more and more people could come out and support. So these are our ASN students.
And a lot of people do show up, so they need every bit of that room. So
Yes.
and North Monroe, has the space to accommodate.
It's going to be really great. I'm glad it finally got rescheduled and that these students will be able to have their moment.
October 8th, y'all.
great.
Check it out.
Because they got a long journey ahead of them.
Yes, they do.
Next, we have something kind of October. October is tomorrow, which means it's
Can
Halloween.
you believe it?
Yeah,
I
it's
mean,
already here.
gosh, these months are rolling in and out
Absolutely.
so fast.
Absolutely.
Flying
I mean,
by.
before you blink, and it's gonna be December.
Oh, girl, yes.
Blink.
It's like Christmas time. We have Christmas everywhere. I should do a video where it
sounds
edits
like
to
there's
that.
a message behind it. and then she said blink,
Interesting. I wonder if there's something she's
Blink.
waiting on and looking forward to.
Blink.
Oh,
Yes.
Y'all, we have karaoke hours from the SGA and JAG actually partnering. And so they're going to do on October 1st, so tomorrow, 1:30 to 3:30, karaoke, refreshments, and fun. This will be at the third floor theater room. So y'all go, students.
So what's the karaoke part? Is that the fun part?
I think it's karaoke, but like October, Halloween.
How about we're singing Thriller, basically.
Yes, Monster
Yes.
Mash.
Yeah.
Singing some.
It was a
classics.
mash.
Which is crazy because I feel like they're going to have the whole place to themselves because everybody's going to be traveling at that point to the LCTCS conference.
I'll
So
be
JAG
here.
and the JAG students will be
Oh, I'm
having a
gonna
great
go,
time.
but we're gonna party.
Oh yeah, I think
I'm
it's a
coming,
front
Catherine.
for a party.
Oh yeah. It was a mash. Yeah.
Woo!
I'm gonna be ready for that one.
Oh,
that's good stuff.
awesome. Next, we have this our last thing, and it is a blood drive at Jonesboro on October 7th from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. You can scan the QR code that's up right now to secure your spot, help make a difference. And I think it's also you can walk up and sign up too at Jonesboro. I think their goal is 9 people. I think we can definitely meet that. So if you're around LDCC Jonesboro, sign up.
All right.
So
Fantastic.
yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Now
That was quite a few things coming up this week, especially considering LCTCS conference, because I thought that was like everything. When I was looking at week at a glance, I'm like, there's not a whole lot happening this week.
I'm
Because
surprised
people are gone.
people are like, yeah, we'll be in New Orleans. What you talking about?
I know.
We're gonna
think
miss
you-
a lot.
I think you need a chaperone, Cameron.
No.
Just kidding. Come on.
I can be by myself. Plus, Hannah's going with me, so
Okay.
she can kind of watch me.
All right.
See, Cameron carries with her the whole LDCC brand and the weight and responsibility of that. So,
Absolutely.
so she'll fall in line
We
and not
all
create
do.
headlines.
We all do.
We all do,
Yeah.
but you're the police.
I need a whistle.
You can't abuse your power.
Y'all, we're gonna miss a lot, so we're gonna definitely fill up our in case you missed it for next week. But we have some stuff for this one, so let's get into it.
Yeah. Oh, Ricker.
Every time that one plays.
Sends me back to high school, like house music.
Oh my gosh. Oh, y'all. So I did not even know that we had a full pottery studio on the Monroe campus. And so one day I just asked Stacy if I could come during one of her classes. She, of course, said yes. And I went, and y'all, we have some talented students working on some really cool art projects in there. I think the top left with the purse was like one of my favorites.
Oh, that is so cool.
It's like a little purse bag, like a little bag with charms on it. It's so cute.
Oh, that is adorable.
Yes. And so they're working on hand building, so some pinch and coil pots, and then that was just, I think, plate building. But yeah, there was quite a few students in there, and I got to sit in on them working on their projects, and I did a video with them, a little interview. So I'm hoping I can get that out so everybody can see how talented they are.
That is so
Yeah.
cool.
I actually went and saw some of the art too recently after we had our show.
Yeah.
And Cameron wasn't here to show the pictures.
I'm sorry.
I said, well, I want to see what this is all
Yeah,
about.
she
And
was sick.
Oh.
But anyway, it really is amazing what Miss Medeiros is doing with the students.
Yeah.
And we're a school that prides itself on putting people to work and getting people ready for the workforce, and yet we still find time, which is good, to develop the whole person.
Right.
And these outlets like the ceramics and hand building classes are very valuable. And not to mention, I put the graphic back up on the screen because the young lady who you took the majority of the pictures with, her name is Lacey, and she's a business and technology
Of
student.
course she is. Of course she is. That's why we paused to elaborate. Of course she is. But
This is why
I
we
don't
have
blame
our
you,
other
Ryan.
representation in industrial tech today, because you just be flooding it with B-Tech.
I'm always going to say
They are present. I tell you what, that pottery, so many people are experiencing stress and, just with life, period. Pottery is a great de-stressor, if you enjoy that. And I do, it can serve as a really good de-stressor.
Yes.
So anyway, employees, if, you need a
That's what we
way
need to
to
do.
de-stress.
we need to have an employee afternoon or evening where we can go into the art studio and do some work. as well.
Yes.
Ooh, that would be cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that'd be awesome.
I love it. I love the room. I love how it's decorated. I love the art everywhere. Coming from my background, it was just so cool to see. We had it right here on the Monroe campus for students to use as an extracurricular. So
And Stacy
really
has
excited.
the ideal personality to teach.
Yes.
To teach art.
She is a true
She
artist.
She is so chill. I mean, and just so patient. She's just really cool.
Yes, absolutely.
I would take your class, Stacy.
Me too. Me too. I wish I could take it. Oh my gosh. We also had on Monroe campus anti-hazing awareness seminar where they passed out free t-shirts, and Tracy Clark presented on hazing, what hazing was, why we shouldn't do it, and just making students aware, that that's not okay, and if they see it, they need to report it.
I want to pause for a second and talk about Tracy. She is a one-woman department. She reaches out and collaborates, with other people, to accomplish her goals too, because there are different things that she has to do that's mandated by governing bodies. But being a one-person department, Tracy manages to do so much. I mean, so much. And she's migrating around to all of the campuses, what she has to. And we can look at it and say, well, that's her job. That's what she's supposed to do. But she does it well, and she does it with such passion and concern and care for the students that it is noteworthy to be able to just stop and just acknowledge her efforts in that, because it's a lot. And even though we agreed to whatever our job is and we're getting paid to do whatever our job is, it still feels good for people to recognize, hey, I see you're doing a lot.
Absolutely.
And you're doing it well.
Absolutely.
And kudos to you. We see you.
Absolutely.
So
I'll say yes to that, because she's done some work in our area, and I think it has a lot to do with her personality too.
Yes.
So to come in and to work with the students, and whatever problem they have, whatever situation they're in, she just has the personality to just make them feel comfortable enough to talk to her and to get the problem solved. So I think you're absolutely right.
Yeah. So great job, Tracy.
Absolutely. Wonderful job. Our next piece of news is from West Monroe. They had, and Monroe did have this too, See You at the Pole. I didn't get any pictures at Monroe's, but West Monroe sent in some awesome pictures of their See You at the Pole event. So it looks like it was very successful with a really great turnout.
Right.
It was.
And then the next piece of news is also from West Monroe. We have Farm Tech, who went to the Harm Reduction and Opioid Mitigation Strategy for Louisiana's Delta presentation. This is Misty Moore's second block, and they went to just participate in the regional panel discussion, and they were able to engage with experts from across the state who just have a wide array of experience. It's a part of their Recovery Month education. So that it's always good to see Farm Tech out in the community. It's never a surprise because they're just always out, doing things. So that's really amazing that their bunch got to go.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah. Was that the last thing on our list?
It is.
I know one thing that we missed on that is Tracy is also a panelist for Alberta Green's conference that she has coming up.
Oh,
And
wonderful.
there are a ton of people who are on the roster to speak.
Awesome.
And Tracy is one of them. So, yay.
Yeah,
Go
that's great.
Tracy. That is awesome.
And I can't remember if there was anyone else from LDCC. It seems like there was, but it's escaping me now. But I do remember that that Tracy is one.
That is great. I knew she was going. I didn't know she was participating as a panelist, though. That is so cool.
Yeah.
Awesome, y'all. So now we get to our feature with our featured guest, which I know he's so excited.
Okay.
All right, Mr. Charles Stevenson.
Yes.
I just want to thank you again for coming on. So for those who don't know, Charles is the what do y'all call it now?
chair
Division
for
chair.
the School of Industrial Technology.
That's
Okay,
correct.
I was like, I don't know if it was lead or chair or
He
what.
manages 15,000 programs and just as many employees and students across all the campuses.
It's a big area.
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah. I can only
And
imagine.
it's growing. It's growing.
As if you,
So,
can we imagine, right?
Yeah, that's right.
I think about it because I'm like, okay, welding is in this school, and welding is on almost every campus.
Every
It's
campus
everyone
except
except for
the
Monroe.
campus. That's
That
right.
is wow.
Yeah,
Oh
yeah.
my goodness.
right.
How do you do it all?
Well,
He's married to
that's-
someone named Natalie.
Yeah, exactly. And I have 4 small kids, and so
Are they helping too
yeah,
now?
yeah. So if you have to learn how to manage, you manage your time, and manage your tasks. So that's all a part of it, and making sure that you have good working relationships with your faculty, and that's how I manage, and we have great working relationships, and so if something needs to be taken care of that they cannot handle, they'll reach out to me, and we'll we make sure that they have the tools that they need to do the job that they need to do, and they get it done. So.
I love that.
Yeah.
And I'm glad we get to interview you so I get to know more about you, because
Okay.
I feel like I don't know a lot. Well, tell me about your background. Where have you come from that's led you to LDCC?
Okay, so my background is I went to school to Southern University in electrical engineering, and when I finished at Southern University in electrical engineering, I got a job with General Motors as an electrical engineer at
Wow.
that time,
Awesome.
and I worked for General Motors, and I ended up going from the engineering side to to process technology, or process engineering is what they called it. And of course, I did some industrial maintenance and maintenance supervisor, and so. Working for General Motors, I moved around in the company and working in different areas, manufacturing, robotics, things like that. I was
Wow.
at the on the assembly lines and such as that. So anyway, I ended up in process engineering, and to where we did all of the painting processes for the headlights for all of the General Motors vehicles. And so we after the local company closed down, I went to work for Mercedes in Memphis, and because I finished working at General Motors on a Friday, and I started working for Mercedes in Memphis on
Wow.
a Monday.
Oh my goodness!
all
I don't
had-
need to ask what you were doing that Saturday.
Right.
Absolutely. And so I worked for them for about a year, and I decided that actually they were in a transition too, to where they were moving one company from one location to another, and I decided after that move that I was not going to go with them, and I decided to come back home. And so when I came back home, I have horses, and so I started working with my horses, and I just decided I was just going to take some time off and enjoy life, working on the farm, and so I did that, and probably after about a couple of weeks being home, I received.
He made that sound like he was at home for a year.
I mean,
sounds like a relaxing time.
I really wanted to just relax and enjoy myself, and but after about a couple of weeks at home, I received a call from someone saying, "Hey, we heard you were back in town, and would
That
you be
news traveled
interested?
fast.
Yeah, would you be interested in coming to Delta to teach a course for us?" And of course, I said, I was actually on the farm when I received the call, and I'm looking around and enjoying the air, and
Yeah.
and looking in the skies, and hearing the birds chirp, and I
Wow.
said, "No, thank you."
And who could blame you?
I said no, thank you, and so I was really enjoying myself, and I got a call the next week, and so they asked me if I would just come and meet with them, and so I said, yeah, I'll come and talk to you. They wanted to have lunch, and anyway, so we had lunch, talked about it, explained how the program was working, and of course they were showing me that they needed some assistance in the program, and this is the process technology program, by the way, and so I said, all right, I looked at everything, And I still was not convinced. I mean, kind of, it's one of those things. Being out in the at the farm or
Yeah.
being in
In the
back
classroom.
in the classroom. I had never, I led some meetings. I led some meetings. I led some trainings at General Motors and at Mercedes. But teaching a class, I just said no, thank you.
Altogether different thing.
Now, and I'll go back just a little bit, because when when I was at General Motors, I had a time that I had to go to Mexico, and I spent about 4 months in Mexico.
Jeez,
To where
that's a long time.
Yeah, we were moving some equipment over, and I worked there for during that time, and I had to do a lot of training there, and just overcoming the language barrier was just it was a tremendous feat, but we were able to do it and get the equipment installed on time, and so that
Wow.
was that was
Wow.
as far as training is concerned. I mean, major training. That was a so I knew that I could do it. I could teach and or train, however you wanted to look at it, and so I knew that I could do it, and so. But I still wasn't convinced. I decided that I was going to just enjoy myself.
You sound like you
Stay
were
on the farm.
Yeah, stay on the farm.
early retirement. Or
Yeah,
something.
that's. But I had planned for that ever since I started. I
Okay.
planned to retire early, and I wanted to. I talked to someone when I was in my 20s. I mean, I'm talking about right out of college, and he showed me how to start investing. And I started investing early in my 20s.
You
and
were an astute 20-year-old. Oh my
Yeah,
gosh.
I mean, there's
20-year-olds
Take notes
typically
over
are
here.
thinking about spending money, not trying to invest and prepare it for
and,
their
and,
future.
And he showed me how I could invest my money, and actually within 1 year, I purchased my first house, and he showed me the steps to take, and
Wow.
and so
Talk
I
about
was
favor.
I
So
was
you were
pretty-
retired.
Yeah. I mean, I was retired, and I was really
Yeah.
enjoying myself, and so go ahead.
I was gonna say, we need to have you back on the show for a special edition
I
of how
know.
to manage your money and invest it wisely.
Exactly.
Right.
I'm telling you, I can talk about it. So, but anyway, we had a third meeting, and at this third meeting, she knew my relationship with the church, and she knew my relationship with God, and so. She threw a little twist in there. She decided that she said, "Listen, we're not going to ask you again, but we want you to go home and pray about it."
That's the ace of spades
Yeah,
right there.
pray about helping the people in the community, and that is really what got me. That's what got me as far as the training and the teaching and all of that. But when she said, go home and pray about helping someone in the community, that really pulled at my heart, and I ended up saying yes, I would help. So this was supposed to be a temporary position, as we're coming in as an adjunct instructor, and working as an adjunct instructor. So I said yes, I will do it temporarily. Well, guess what? After 15 years, I'm
yeah.
still here,
Yeah.
and so so that's my journey.
Came up through the ranks. And
Yeah.
Came
And-
up. I started out as an adjunct instructor, moved to instructor, and then later on moved to department chair and division chair. I was the program lead in process technology. We were making a lot of advancements in our program, and so I ended up being the division chair over industrial technology, over all the technical programs or CTE programs.
Wow.
That's
Yeah,
my
so
journey.
this is
That
what,
is a
so
journey.
This is what retirement looks like.
Yeah.
Yeah, this
Well,
is
then
where
he
we
started
started.
having kids, so that really
Threw a wrench
that
in
really
it.
cemented him in the
Yeah.
employment field.
Yeah,
Or you
absolutely.
either had to keep working or up those investments.
Yeah,
one of the
yeah.
two.
Right. That's right.
Or
That's
both.
right. Yeah, both. That's right.
You know, it sounds like I feel like, you know, with you rising through the ranks and
Yeah.
that kind of in between time, what inspired you to become more of a leader in this setting in education?
Oh, that's a good question. Actually, the thing that inspired me to come to work for Delta is what inspired me to again advance in moving up in the ranks is just making a difference in the community and knowing that there's so many people that have needs and meeting the needs of the people and so I had and I wasn't I was a tough instructor. I had some things that I did in class. If you were not in class, I had an 8 o'clock class. If you were not in class by 8 o'clock, the door was closed and it was locked, and you could not get in.
You gotta teach people to be
And-
on
yeah,
time, right?
Because that's how it is for work.
That's right. And our industry partners, recognized that we were doing that, and they thought that was a great idea because sometimes the employees have to be at work at 4 a.m. in the morning, and it's very important for them to be on time, not oversleep, not stay up late the night before, but understand that it's important for them to be on time. And so that's basically how I operated in the classrooms. All of the things that, because I came from the industrial background, I understood the importance of all of these things. I implemented those things in the classroom so that the students would be prepared when they go out in the field. I had a young lady, and it was tough. I had a young lady that was riding the bus to school, and sometimes she would miss the bus and would cause her to be late for class. Well, the door was still locked at 8 o'clock, and she missed class or was locked out of class one time, and she stayed outside the door the whole time during class, and then she came to me and talked to me after she explained her situation. And I explained to her, I said, listen, it's important for you to catch the bus on time so that you can be in class on time. Well, after she graduated, she went to work for a local company. I don't know if I'm able to say the name of the company, but she went to work for a local company to where she had to be at work at 4 a.m. Well, guess what? She was at work every morning at 4 a.m. on time, and she never missed. And she is still working at the company now. And she came back and she thanked me. She said, Mr. Stevenson, I didn't understand what you were doing. I didn't like what you were doing at the time, but I really appreciate what you did because it helped me to understand the importance of being on time. And she said, I've never missed a day of work, or I've never been late for a day of work. She said, and not only did it change my life, but it changed my family's life. Because I was able to get this job and keep this job, I'm able to support my family, my younger sister, and help her to get in school and help her to understand the importance of being on time as well. So those are the types of things that help me to grow and help the students, So and it helped me to say, yes, I'll take this position, or yes, I'll take that position. So
that's wow, that's amazing. That just something so small made such an impact in one person's life.
yes.
When it comes to community impact, which sounds like that's your personal mission.
It is.
What are you most proud of that you've accomplished as the division chair? Not being able to teach as much in the classroom, but still, having a large impact on the students.
Well, that's a good question. I I like the fact that I have a lot of students that not only come to me for CTE questions, but they come to me and to talk to me about personal things that's going on in their homes, and they come to me in confidence.
That's amazing.
Yeah, so I can talk to them and work with them, and not only work with them on the educational side, but help them through some personal things in life to help them to be successful, even in the classroom. We have students that come from various backgrounds, and I do whatever I can to help them to understand that it doesn't matter where you start. If you work hard, you can accomplish anything. And so that's what.
Trust is such an important part of relationships. I mean, it's
Absolutely.
critical. And you have the opportunity to speak into students' lives from all walks of life. And
Absolutely.
because they trust you,
That's right.
they will listen to you. Even if they don't necessarily believe or agree with what you're saying, they'll still listen. And like that young lady, later she realized how important, the lesson was in showing up and being on time.
Absolutely.
What part of your character do you feel has been the most critical component in teaching and relating to your students?
Oh my goodness.
This is a real interview.
Yeah. Wow.
I could do this for hours.
I think just being honest with yourself, and when you're honest with yourself, and you to make sure that what you're saying is true, and people will, when you say things, they'll believe what you're saying. If you tell them that that you're going to do this or you're going to do that, then they'll believe you. They don't just say, I hear what you're saying, but I don't believe that you're going to do that. And so, you build a relationship. And again, the same thing with the faculty members, and you have to build that trust to where they believe in what you're saying. And so I think that's being honest with not only yourself, but honest with those that you're working with.
That's good. So we know Charles Stevenson, the instructor. We know Charles Stevenson, the head of the industrial technology programs. Some people may not know Charles Allen Stevenson Jr., the minister. Talk to us about that life.
Oh my goodness, that is that's a whole nother. Well, I'm the pastor of right now 3 churches. I have
Wow.
I have a church in Monroe. I have a church in Shudrunt, and I'm an interim pastor at a church in Rayville. So our day starts, even with the 4 kids. Our day starts at 8 a.m. Well, the church service starts at 8 a.m. Our day starts at about 6 a.m. So we get up
We're talking
early
about
in the
Sunday,
morning.
y'all, when everybody's trying to relax.
Yeah,
Sunday
that's
is
right.
probably the busiest day of the week.
Busiest day of the week, and so we have an 8 o'clock service at the Shudrunt location, and then we go to Rayville at 10 a.m. And then I have an 11 o'clock service that starts without me right now.
Oh, wow.
That starts at the Monroe location. So as soon as I get there from the Ravel location,
Oh my
I walk
gosh.
right in and walk right up and
Right up
and
to the
re-
pulpit.
yeah, right up to the pulpit and ready to speak. And
Oh
so,
my goodness.
and yesterday, in addition to that, I had a fourth service at 3 o'clock. So,
Oh my.
Y'all were in church like all day.
Okay, so yeah, we were in church all day yesterday, and then my wife's our niece had a birthday yesterday evening, and we were going to go by to celebrate with them, and as we pulled up at the house, our kids were in the car, and they said, "Do we have to go in?" I said, "Why not?" I mean, they said
They are tired of
listen,
going in.
they said we're probably the only ones that are still in church clothes. So everybody else has got tennis shoes and shorts and everything.
Relaxing.
Do we have to? I said yes, we do have to go in. So, but of course they were fine with that. But that's what a day looks like
On a Sunday.
Yeah, on a Sunday for us. We're going,
Wow.
going. But it it gives us joy to again. To touch so many lives. On a Sunday, we see, oh my goodness, probably about 600 to 700 people
Wow.
on a Sunday. So that's at all of the three churches. So that's
Your kids will have some stories to tell.
Oh
when they
yeah,
get
oh
older.
yeah, oh yeah.
Oh,
and
my
they,
goodness.
And they, from one church to the other, they have they've gotten their own. They've made their own things to do. When we get to the first church, it's my oldest son. He goes and gets the microphones and put the microphones out, and then
Oh, wow.
we go to the next church, and then
It's a
they've got
family
their, yeah,
business.
that's right. They go to the next church, and they've got their responsibilities there, and they come to the
Oh,
last
wow.
church, and and so they absolutely
They're involved.
Yeah, they're involved. They love it. So we have a great time.
I'm gonna tell you what was a shocking thing for me, and because your kids are coming up, like mine. I mean, they grew up in church,
Right.
and it shocked me when they graduated high school for them to not be committed to the Sunday services, and even a relationship. Because I thought, oh my gosh, I mean, I just thought this was automatic,
Yeah,
but it's
absolutely.
like these are adults now. They're making their own decisions about what they choose to believe, what they don't. Choose to believe, whether
Absolutely.
or not, they want to continue certain behaviors. And that threw me for a real loop. I was like, oh my gosh.
We work to get them connected to make sure that they are again just like the microphones and that I mentioned before. Later on it'll be more things that they will more assignments that they will be given to do, and just I think just making sure that they are connected in the ministry, and so that they'll be want to continue to do those things after they grow up.
Yeah. Yep.
Amazing.
Yeah.
That was fantastic. Thank you so much.
Did you know all of that?
I knew none of that, and I feel so blessed to know that now. You've lived like 3 lives,
Yeah,
and you're living 3
absolutely.
separate lives right now. It's crazy.
I always
so.
ask Charles, I say, hey, how do you do it? And you must not like sleep at all. You must just.
I don't know
It's-
how
I-
those kids keep him active.
let me tell you, time management is one of my big things. I don't now. I don't watch a lot of TV. I don't. A lot of things that it seems like everybody else. I'll say it like that. That do. There are a lot of things that I do not get a chance to do.
Right, you
that.
don't have time
Yeah, that's
to
right.
do it,
I don't
that-
have
yeah.
time to do those things. But it those not doing those things helps me to stay focused on the things that are really important to me. I have goals. I write my goals down, and I go after everything that's on my list, and everything that's if it's not on my list, it doesn't get a whole lot of time
Attention.
and attention from me. So
Which is why you should be thanking your lucky stars. Charles Stevenson is on the show right now. That's right.
Yes.
Hey, 2 weeks in advance.
Yes.
2 weeks in advance, you know.
Let me just
That's
say
right.
this one
Yeah.
thing before we move on. I feel like the feature has been great, and it's been, almost like you don't even need a Monday morning motivation anymore
Right.
because, here he is right here.
I'm saying.
But
I
I'll
mean,
say
that is very
But
inspirational.
I'll say this, and just for everybody to know, Charles is in large part responsible for me. You talking about people that drift away from the church?
Yeah.
Charles is in large part responsible for me coming back to the church.
Wow.
I will say that.
Wow.
That's amazing.
Yeah. So thank you. Thank you
you're
very much.
welcome. You're
We're-
welcome.
I mean, that's people. I mean, and that's a testament to his genuineness, about who he is and what he stands for. I mean, because you can't fake it like that.
Nope.
For all of this time. And you would have to live by a schedule, otherwise your life would be crazy because
Yes.
you
It's a good
have
thing you're
a
organized.
ton going on,
That's
a
right.
ton.
That's right. That's right. And so you have to be very disciplined, and it doesn't stop me from reading books. It doesn't stop me from spending time with my children. It doesn't stop me from having a good time. So I really enjoy it. Yeah, I really enjoy what I do.
Yeah.
Amazing. Yeah, honestly, we'll do a very quick and short Monday morning motivation. But that was super inspiring. We're going to have to get you to come back on. We're going to have to do a long sit down interview because I'm telling you, I could have asked you a million more questions.
You
So-
got Barbara Walters over there.
Yes. I am like, oh my gosh, that was amazing. Thank you so much. And we're going to do our MMM and then wrap it up. All right, y'all. So I was supposed to do the MMM last week,
That's
and then
right.
I left. I left y'all hanging. So
That's right.
I said I would do this week. For the MMM, I was thinking a lot about how I'm kind of in a transitional period in my life where things are just crazy. I have a million things. I'm getting married in 2 weeks. I have so much to do at work to prepare for my time off, and so much to do for the wedding outside of that. Just a lot going on. And you talking about relationships is so funny because I've just been thinking about my relationships with people during this time. Because when you're going through a lot, sometimes you drop the ball on some things, like if I had a friend who had a birthday and I was like, I don't even have a gift for her ready, which I usually do, and so I just think a lot about my relationships and how that's what really drives me at the end of the day is my relationship with people and my family, my friends, my coworkers, and how important that really is to me. And so my Monday morning motivation is just to say, don't drop the ball with your friends and family during times like these.
Yes.
Even if all you can do is take the time to send a text message to check on someone or just let them know you're thinking about them.
Yes.
That little bit goes a long way. It makes people feel seen during a time where they don't expect you, to reach out or, they're like, no, you're going through a lot. I completely understand. They're still going to be your friends and family after you get through this transitional period. So treat them good and put forth that effort because that's important. So going back to relationships and trust, that's really the foundation of any productivity in life. So that's my Monday morning motivation.
You're reminding me to call my mom today.
Call your mama, Ryan.
That's right.
If nothing else, call your mama.
That's right. That's right.
Oh, but yeah, we y'all, this was a great show. Thank you so much again for coming on. This has
Yes,
been
welcome. You're
fantastic.
All right, you're welcome.
We have had just such a good time, and y'all have a fantastic week. A lot of people are gonna watch this afterwards too, because they're gonna see your face and be like, "We need to watch this."
Yeah.
So, y'all have an amazing week, and we'll see you next week.